Welcome viewers. Uh, Bullwhip effect is a term or a phenomena which occurs when we are moving in a supply chain from retailer end to the supplier end. This bullwhip effect occurs when the retailer forecast the customer demand on the basis of a real time customer demand available with him, and he also add the safety stock because of uncertainty in the delivery, uncertainty in uh, reaching the items from distributor or wholesaler to the retailer. So he will keep a safety stock so that he should not face the stock out condition. Stock out condition is that condition which normally occurs when the item is not available at the stock or at the warehouse. Now, when this information reaches to the distributor or the wholesaler, wholesaler will keep his own safety stock, and whatever the demand is raised by the retailer, he will add his own safety stock in the customer in the retailer demand and passes to the manufacturer. Similarly, manufacturer will add his own safety stock and then passes to the supplier. If you just imagine that the customer demand which is coming from retailer to wholesaler or distributor to the manufacturer, it is increasing because of addition of the safety stock. Now, what are the factors which generate the bullwhip effect or which are responsible for occurring of the bullwhip effect phenomena? If you just see the slide, the first ever uh, factor is the demand forecasting. Now, what is the demand forecasting? Now, every player is making his or her own demand forecasting. Now, what the retailer is doing? Retailer is getting the customer demand on the basis of point of sale data. Now, this point of sale data apply any forecasting technique, then passes to the wholesaler. Wholesaler will pass on to the manufacturer. So, this is whatever or whichever be the accurate forecasting technique is applied, there are always chances of error because everybody is taking care of the safety stock. That is why when the customer demand moves from one end to another end, the demand gets increased or varied from retailer end to wholesaler, wholesaler to manufacturer, and manufacturer to the supplier. Now, the second most important factor is the lead time. The lead time is the time between placing the order and receiving the order. That is called the lead time. Now, if lead time is there, safety stock will automatically increase. Why? Because safety stock depends on the lead time. You will appreciate that if the lead time is 2 days, the company will keep the inventory for keeping 2 days into consideration. If it is 7 days, they will keep the inventory considering the 7 days as a lead time. The safety stock depends on the lead time. So, if lead time is more, safety stock will be more. And if safety stock will be more, there is a high chances or the more chances for the bullwhip effect. Now, if you see the third, what is batch ordering? Now, batch ordering means the company is giving the order in batches. Instead of giving the orders in a complete manner, or they are giving the order in a batches. So what is happening? If there is a one batch, there is an increase in the demand. In second batch, if there is no demand, they will not raise the demand. So that is called the batch ordering or the batch ordering, and that will enhance the bullwhip effect. Now if we see the fourth factor, that is the price fluctuation. Now what is price fluctuation? That a company always consider that in the market there is a fluctuation in the price. There are chances when the prices are at the low level, there are chances when the prices are at the higher level. So company always want to take the advantage of the low price. So what will happen when the price is low? Company will try to go for the higher side of purchasing. When the price is more, they will reluctant to buy the things. So that is called the price fluctuation, and that also contribute, that is a major factor for increase in the bullwhip effect. Fifth one is inflated order. Now what is inflated order? That in one cases there is a promotional activities. Now due to promotional activities, there is some discounts are available. So what company will do? Company will go for inflated order. They will increase the order so that they will get the advantage of discount or the promotional scheme. That is called the inflated. So these are the some factors which causes the bullwhip effect. Now we will again comes the inventory, that what are the different types of demand which constitute the inventory at the warehouse. There are two types of basically demand. First is called the dependent demand and another one is called the independent demand. Dependent demand, if you just take the example of a car. Now in car, the tires are dependent. Why? Because they depend upon the number of cars to be manufactured. Now you will appreciate there are so many items. If you just see your scooter, if you see your washing machine, there are so many items which are dependent, and the number of washing machines to be produced or to be manufactured, they are independent. And the number of, just like number of your wheels, number of your switches, they all depends on the number of items to be produced as a washing machine, or number of cars to be produced by a four-wheeler company. Now with this figure you will just appreciate that in A is a independent demand just like a car. Now here is the dependent demand, just like your tires, there may be inventory. So if you just go to the different, whether it is a dependent demand or independent demand, there are several costs are involved uh, in managing the inventory. The first is called the carrying cost or the holding cost. These are the costs which occurred if we keep the inventory at our warehouse. Now, second is called the ordering or the cost of replenishment of the inventory. If we give the order, then this cost occurs. Third one is the shortage cost. Shortage cost is the temporary or the permanent loss of sale when the demand cannot be met. We have also called as stock out cost, because if the item is not available, then what will happen? Customer will go to the another shop. Then as a retailer, he is going to lose that customer in for that particular item. So that is called the shortage cost. Now these three costs, carrying cost, ordering cost and shortage cost, these three costs constitute a very important role. They play an important role in modeling or in the inventory management model. Now in any inventory management model, we always try to optimize that whatever we are going to place the order, that should be optimized, because we cannot give order to increase our holding cost, because if the items comes to our warehouse, we have to use the space occupied at the warehouse, we have to use the insurance policy, we have to use the manpower. So there are plenty of costs which are again as a subhead involved in the holding cost. Similarly, we cannot increase the number of orders, or because if we increase the number of orders, the ordering cost will increase. That is why we have to keep a optimum level of holding cost, optimum level of ordering cost, and definitely no shortage cost. But there are several incidents where we keep intentionally the shortage cost, because in order to gain some advantage, we intentionally keep the shortage cost in our model. Now let us see that what is the control system. Now there are two types of control system. One is continuous and one is periodic. Now if we analyze that what is the continuous system of inventory and what is the periodic system of the inventory. In case of continuous system, what we do, the retailer or a company orders a certain item or the fixed quantity for replenishment. Whenever the inventory level at its store reduces or falls below a level, then we called as a continuous or the system. So what is happening, that at a particular time inventory level falls below a certain level and we order a number of items so that we get the item and we maintain a maximum level of inventory at our warehouse or at our stores. Now in case of periodic, what is happening, that the supplier will supply the items at a particular interval. It may be 7 days, it may be 5 days. It does not have any look on the inventory which is available at the store. But both have a contract between them, supplier and the retailer, and it is the duty of a supplier to supply the items to the retailer at a particular interval, and that is why it is called the periodic system or periodic level. There are so many examples when at the retailer end, the line manager was afraid because the diaper which was used for a newly born baby, they are going to be exhausted very soon. So he thought that he will be fired because he has not informed about the quantity of the diaper to his higher level of manager or higher manager, and the same was not passed to the supplier. But here was a periodic system of replenishment, and the supplier, through the advanced information technology, the supplier was aware of the quantity which is available at the retailer. Now when the certain items, just like a diaper, the quantity is decreasing, the supplier, without waiting the order from the supplier, they will pass the quantity to the retailer. So the next morning when the line manager came, he found that shelf is full with the diaper. That is the beauty of the periodic system or the of the inventory replenishment. That is also called retailer supplier relationship. Means there is a contract between retailer and the supplier. Now we will see that what we understand by the ABC classification. It is very important and very simple, and almost all the manufacturing company, all the fast moving consumer company, they are using it, and you will appreciate the simplicity of this analysis. ABC means we can categorize the inventory into three category: A category, B category, C category. Now the A category inventory contains 5 to 15% of unit, but 70 to 80% of the total value. B class inventory, they keep 30% of the unit. Now these items are the B item. These items are the A item. Now third category is the C, where they constitute 50 to 60% of the unit, but the value is 5 to 10%. We will take one example. Now we get different 10 parts from the company. The unit cost of these are like this, just like $60, $350. Annual uses is also given, 50 units, 40 units, 130 units. Now what we have done, we have put in the total value in the decreasing order, so that the highest we get at the top and the lowest at the bottom. Now on the basis of the value, the total value we have kept according to the item, and we also have cumulative figure. Now we have divided the 3 into 3 classes, just like A class, B class and the C class. You will appreciate that the 3 items, just like A class, contains item number 9, 8, 2, which constitute 71% of the value, but quantity wise they were 15% of the total quantity. If you just see item B or the class B, they keep 1, 4, 3, 16% of the total value, but keep the 25% of the total quantity. Similarly, if you see C, they constitute 60% of total quantity, but 12.5% of the total value. And this is the ABC analysis. Now we will come to the economic order quantity model. As I told you that economic order quantity model we normally use when we want to calculate or determine a optimal order quantity that will minimize or optimize the total inventory cost. Now the basic, we will today discuss about the basic EQ model, but there is also production quantity model, where we will in the EOQ model, economic order quantity, there are certain assumptions in the economic order quantity, but in production quantity model we have the production, and the replenishment is gradual, as well as depletion or the consumption is also at the gradual level, or gradually they will decrease the quantity which is available at the warehouse. Now we will see what are the assumptions, because any model which we develop, any mathematical model, it definitely contains certain type of assumption. Just like in this, we have the demand is known with certainty and is constant over the time. No shortage is allowed. Lead time for the receipt of order is constant. Order quantity is received all at once. Now if you just see that we have a maximum quantity at Q, we have 0 level, and we have the reorder point. Now if we are 0, that means we are not allowing any shortage cost. Now this is the consumption of the item, and as it reaches at this point, we get the replenishment at once, and our level of the inventory reaches to Q. So that means, and this point is called the reorder point. At this point we are placing the order, and this is our lead time, and when it reaches we get the consignment at this point, and we get the level up to level Q. Now in inventory economic order quantity cost model, we have certain cost as we have discussed, just like cost of placing order or the ordering cost, annual per unit carrying cost or holding cost, D is the annual demand, and Q is the order quantity. Now you will appreciate that D by Q, D is the total demand, Q is the order quantity. If you divide it, you will get the number of orders. Since CO is the ordering cost, if you multiply the ordering cost with the number of order, you will get the total ordering cost. Similarly, Q is the inventory or the order quantity at one time, and 0 is at one time. So the average will be Q by 2. CC is the carrying cost, and Q by 2 multiplied by CC will give you the cost for carrying the inventory. So the total cost will be the sum of these two, and if you differentiate it, you will get the Q optimal or Q economic order quantity, that is 2CO into D divided by CC. That is a very common formula that is used in every company. Similarly, we can also put like this: if you place ordering cost to the carrying cost at a particular level at the economic order quantity point, these two must be equal. And when we equate these two costs, we will get the economic order quantity, and again the value is the same which we have calculated on the basis of derivation. Now we will discuss about this economic cost model. If you just see this red line, this is the ordering cost, and if the number of quantity or is increased, then the order will be reduced. If you increase this one, your ordering cost is getting reduced because you are increasing the order quantity in a one lot. So ordering cost will reduce, but since you are increasing the number of items in an order, so ordering or the carrying cost or the holding cost will increase. Now this will give you the total cost, which is the summation of holding cost and the ordering cost. And if you just see the slope, where the slope is 0, that means the holding cost is equal to the ordering cost. At that cost, we get the economic order quantity, which is the ultimate goal of any inventory management practices, to obtain the quantity at which the ordering cost or the holding cost are optimum. So in today's session, we have covered the in definition of inventory, what are the different types of inventory, how the inventory can be classified, just like we took the example of ABC classification, that A class, B class and C class. Then we have also covered a basic economic order quantity model, in which we have certain assumption, just like we do not consider the shortage cost, the demand is constant, we do not see any variability in the demand, and then we have calculated the carrying cost and the holding cost, and when we kept the ordering cost into the holding cost and we equate, we get the economic order quantity. Thank you.